Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Please Listen podcast. I'm your host, John Follett. I'm your illustrious, salacious, that's not the word. I'm your salivating host, John Follett. Today, we're going to talk about all sorts of things. The other day, I was told that I have a very soothing voice. My voice is calming. Hello there. This is my real voice, by the way. I was talking in my higher voice. That's usually the voice that I put on when I don't want to intimidate anyone. But behind closed doors, I go, hello, welcome to the Please Listen podcast, where we're going to talk about, we're going to do true crime today. There was a boy who was murdered. They didn't know who it was. The case went cold after 40 years. And you guessed it, it was the neighbor the whole time. I know police, maybe they should have looked a little harder. It was the neighbor the whole time. The case went cold for 40 years. Let's give it up for the police force, everyone. Tune in next week where we find out about another cold case. Just a little hint. Yes, it's gonna be the neighbor again the whole time. So, that's basically that's what I do. If I were the host of a true crime podcast, radio show, NPR, does NPR do that? I guess it's not very calming listening to true crime. It's more unsettling. So maybe I would talk about the history of the plow or something. Welcome to the history of the plow. One day someone was like, I need to plow some dirt. And so they invented it. Tune in next week when we talk about the history of the stick and hoop game. Very simple, easy history, very abridged. It's not very complicated. I went to the dentist. That's interesting. That's fun to talk about. That's relatable. Anybody else go to the dentist? Round of applause if you guys go to the dentist. Okay. All right. That's cool. The dentist, they have the doctors, right? The doctors, they come in and they look at your teeth and they're like, A24, 6C, they just say a bunch of numbers and letters and they're like, you're missing a tooth. The doctor told me, he said that, what he said, I thought it resonated with me deeply. He said you grind in your sleep. And I was like, damn right I do. Damn right. He was so real for that. Because he's like, it's just a sign of respect, man. He's like, you're always on that grind, and just keep grinding and one day you're going to make it. And I really appreciated that sentiment from the doctor. And I took it home. I took it home with me, that thought. And it's words to live by. He did actually say that I grind in my sleep, so I do have to wear a night guard to bed now. So that's that's just kind of a thing that I just thought. I think he meant it I think it was a double entendre. I think he meant it in both ways. Just some words of advice that he snuck in there. Because who said dentists can't be motivational? Nobody's saying that. I wouldn't want to get my motivation from someone that looks at the inside of mouths all day. I don't very much like that. I feel like everything about the dentist, just my body rejects it. Whenever they're sticking their little scalpels in my mouth and they're the cool mirror thing, I think that's what it is. That part's always been cool. My favorite part is when they spray the water in your mouth and they're like, close. But whenever they're sticking their stuff in my mouth, my tongue, it has a mind of its own, and it fights back. All right, they go open wide, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm like, they're like open wide, and I'm like, and then my tongue just goes into action, right? Doesn't work though. They beat me every single time. And yeah, so I went to the dentist. I bought a night guard. I bought one. No, I didn't buy the $300 one that they were trying to sell me at the dentist. I bought I think it was $16 off of Amazon. So hopefully it works just as good. I mean, you might notice in the next episode all my teeth are gone. And yeah, so that's something that you can keep track of in the episodes to come. Isn't that great, everyone? Let's give it up for dentists. I would never become a dentist. I don't think. One, I don't like. It requires a lot of work, like anything in the medical field. It requires a lot of like reading, probably. A lot of looking in the mouths. I would never become a surgeon either. You know. Not that I couldn't. I could easily I could become a surgeon tomorrow, you know. Just don't want to. That's my thing. I could become a gold Olympic medal athlete. Don't want to. Sorry. You're telling me training for 15 years to lift up to break dance for a couple minutes? No, thank you. I've got better things to do with my time. Anyways, there was something happened recently. It was very, I guess it was kind of big in like pop culture news, right? And it involved, what the hell? Oh. Ugh. Okay. Sorry about that. But something happened like a week ago that was pretty big. It involved a childhood icon of mine and just a very famous children's mascot by the name of Elmo from Sesame Street. Elmo, I don't know his last name. No last name. And it also involved a website called Twitter. And it's apparently what happened is someone hacked into the Elmo's Twitter account and they just tweeted some really nasty things from his account. And then, thankfully they Sesame Street took back over the reins of the account, and they were like, hey, everything that Elmo said, Elmo got a little out of control last week, okay? He got a little, he had a few too many apple juices. So we didn't mean that what he said. He's going to go back he's in timeout right now. Elmo's in timeout. So don't even worry about it, okay? He's going to learn a valuable lesson, okay, about why you got to love everyone. And I just gotta say, of all the characters to hack and say these things, like, why do you gotta choose Elmo, man? Elmo I respect Elmo so much as an individual, but just more, I mean Sesame Street. I respect Sesame Street like as a program so much, like how it's like. I don't know. I think in terms of like children's media, I think it's some of the best out there. They've done things throughout history that's like, I guess one specific one is like they tackled the topic of death because one of the cast members, I think, passed away, and like they were like, where did this guy go? And then on the show they like had the people like explain death, and I think that's very commendable. Tackling a heavy topic for and make it palatable for kids. I really like that, and I just think they've always been like, I don't know, they've always had a certain integrity to them, and yeah, I think it's on the exact opposite spectrum of like YouTube shorts in terms of kids what things that kids watch. It's like that is 100% like will make your kid like with a, you know, 2 grades below their reading level, versus Sesame Street like you're gonna have an Einstein on your hands. That's like me. I watched Sesame Street as a kid. I'm a genius. Full stop. That's full stop. I'm a genius. Sorry, reading the weep, everyone. But yeah, why would you do this to Elmo and tarnish his good name? You know, it's like maybe, I mean, you know, maybe it was really him. Maybe he got a little crazy after he met up with the Rizzler. Maybe the Rizzler was, you know, telling him some scary things. But I have some of the tweets here, and I'm just gonna read them out just to like show you like the nastiness that transpired. And real quick, you know, trigger warning for this, because some of these ones are really bad. Some of them, you know, maybe even the sentiment you disagree with, but you know the way he's saying it is just so vulgar that it's like, you know, don't. This is rated mature, everyone. But you know, like, I don't understand why someone would want someone as sacred and as squeaky clean as Elmo to say these things. I mean, like, I have them right here. This first one, not recycling is okay sometimes. Like obviously Elmo doesn't believe that. He thinks reducing, reusing, and recycling is good. That's what he preaches on his show. He loves the environment. I mean, I guess sometime maybe if there isn't a recycling bin around, I guess maybe you'd have to settle for the trash can. But like saying that it's good is a little bit too far. Maybe like it's maybe rephrase it to be like, not recycling is okay if you have to. You know, but like just for him, you know, advocating for not recycling, that is just that's incredulous. Why would you make him say that? This next one here, I don't tip as much as I should to servers. Come on, you're making him seem like stingy and like a cheapskate with this. He's like a famous children's mascot. He's probably rich as hell. He would, and he understands that a lot of servers, they make their living off of tipping, because that's just like the weird way that the businesses are set up, where it's not a livable wage, right? So it's like, God, like that's horrible. And then, oh my dude, this next one from on Elmo's Twitter. Apparently, this is something Elmo would say, according to this hacker. Okay, pee in pools, who cares? Right? Like, I understand, like, we've all done it at some point, right? We've all peed, maybe as a kid, maybe as a 20-year-old man, maybe you just pee in a pool. But saying who cares, like, it's unsanitary, it's kind of gross, and like, you know, most kids are just they're gonna grow up and think that like peeing in pools is okay, and then it's gonna become like a thing that when they're as an adult, and everyone's just going to be gross and in pee-filled pools all the time. Is that the future that you want, anonymous hacker? God, it gets worse. There's even more. This one, oh my God. This one was just grossed me out. It says, one time I was at the store and I decided I wasn't going to buy this one thing. And instead of putting it back where I found it, I just left it on the nearest shelf. I'm at a loss for words at this point. Like, what are we doing here? Like, you see like the, you know, pictures of like mom said no, and they're leaving like stuff just on the shelf, like a fish or something. But I guess, I mean, if you're in like a short, you know, you're short on time, or you're like, it's really far away, you know, I don't know. I think it's really inconsiderate of like the employees there. Because now they got to do it, and I guess, you know, that's what they're getting paid for. But like, why give them extra work on purpose if you don't have to, right? You know, they put it up there all nice and neat, and you just go and you mess with that whole thing. It's just really nasty stuff, really, really nasty stuff. And that continues into this next one. Oh my God, dude! Ed Sheeran's music is annoying. I know he was on our show and stuff, but like, I can't stand him. And what's up with his face? Elmo loves Ed Sheeran. We all know this. Like, he was a guest on the show and they were playing his music, probably. They were like singing the ABCs or something. This is just, gosh, this is just so messed up. And like, I understand, like, if you don't like the guy's music, but now you're doing like attacks on his appearance. You're attacking his appearance. Like, what? He can't change his face. It's just, and I mean, I let alone, I don't think that this is like what Elmo should say, but like, I don't think people should be saying that about anybody. Anybody should be saying that at all. Making fun of someone's face because you don't like their music. That's just very, very, very horrible. And then this is the last one. This is probably the worst one. Oh God, it's kill all mosquitoes. That's all of them, really? I don't think Elmo would want mosquitoes to go extinct. He understands that they're like good for like the environment in some way, probably. Like, I know it's like they're kind of annoying sometimes. Maybe the hacker was like genuine in him wanting this to happen, but it's like you can't. What's next? You're gonna go after all bees next, all spiders, all snakes. Like what? Like if one of them, if you're supporting one of them going extinct, it's when does it end? It's really gross stuff. It's really, really, really gross stuff, man. I mean, what do you think, Kermit? Kermit thinks it's horrible. He thinks it's really bad. He would not support anything that Elmo just said. I wouldn't expect any less from my friend Kermit. By the way, for future reference, if you want to know what to think about a certain topic, just ask Kermit. He'll tell you. He usually has good morals. He has a good head on his shoulders. He'll tell you what the deal is. But you don't want to know what Kermit's tweeting about. Okay, he has a sock puppet account, puppet. But yeah, he has an alternate account where he says some bad stuff. Okay, and it's actually him. It's not a hacker. But I can't even. The video, this episode will get, it'll get me arrested if I read his tweets. If I read Kermit's tweets off, it's basically like a life sentence in prison for me, for just reading them. That's a lot of interesting stuff going on down Sesame Street. I'm worried about a kid scrolling through Twitter, a 6-year-old on Twitter, and they're seeing Elmo tweet these things about killing all mosquitoes and being like, why? Oh, Elmo's saying that? I guess I have to now. And then they go out and they just start killing. They're just like, Elmo told me to. I don't know. I mean, what do you want from me? Sorry, Elmo told me to. You're dead now. Sorry, you're dead now. Sorry. But yeah, that's what happened recently. I don't know, man. It's like, when does it end with these hackers? They also hacked into the Cookies Monster's account and they said, I hate cookies. That's what they said. And people were able to tell instantly because he would never say that. Cookie Monster was always my favorite. He reminds me of myself a lot because I like eating chocolate chip cookies like him. So he was always my favorite one. Anyways, let's get off this. I wanted to talk about something fun. Let's talk about something fun, guys. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. Everybody ready for some fun? Yeah, let's have some fun, guys. I want to do a bit of a double feature. All right, 2 movies that came out this month. One of them I'm a little late to, but that's why I'm doing the double feature, so we can get to both of them. Okay, first of all, I wasn't late to this, okay? I tried filming this podcast like multiple times throughout the past week, and I've been unhappy with all of them, right? And for like a certain period of time, I was like, I want this podcast to just be something that I throw out there, like very low effort, just to keep the things coming on this channel. And I realized after doing that I can't do that. I just can't put shit out without like doing 110% of it. I can't. I don't know why it's so hard for me to not care about what I'm putting out there. Maybe that's like a little too. Maybe I'm I don't know. I'm tooting my own horn or something, or like I'm gassing myself up a little too much. But like I can't put out things that I didn't like go through with like a fine tooth comb and be like, how do I make this the most entertaining little bit as possible. So it's going to take longer. I don't know how it's going to work out in going forward, but that's what I'm doing. I'm 100% or nothing at all. That's my new policy. And because of that, I'm a little late to this, but it's time to talk about two movies that I've been super excited about, starting with DC Studios, James Gunn's Superman. Yeah, Superman, that new movie that just came out. I just gotta say, man, I'm just the biggest DC fan. I've always been just the biggest fan of Superman and just like of DC. I've just got a million comics first of all of Superman, and then other like this is a good one that I have also. But like I've been the biggest fan, and like. Marvel, you guys had your time in the sun, but now Superman, he's powered by the sun. And now with this new Superman movie, they're coming up. They're up now. All right, and good. Let's just say goodbye, Marvel. That's all I'm gonna say with this movie. This movie was, I thought this movie was great. I thought it was the movie of the year, movie of the summer, movie of the year, movie of the decade, whatever you want to say. Okay, it was just all the way around. Just made me this movie. This movie made me a better person. Do you understand that? There's a line in it where I think it's probably one of the most famous parts of the movie. The people are talking about the most, where Superman, played wonderfully by David Cornsweet. He says that maybe being kind and thinking that everyone is beautiful, maybe that's the new punk rock. And I just thought, damn. That's so true. So now I have a brighter outlook on the world. Okay, I'm waking up at 6 a.m. now. I'm making my bed. I used to never make my bed, but I'm waking up and I'm making my bed. Okay, I'm high-fiving people on the street. I'm giving money to homeless people. 2 truths and a lie. Which one was I just told 2 truths and 1 lie. Which one was I lying about? Leave it in the comments. Here's a hint. I hate homeless people. No, I'm kidding. But I thought the movie, I don't know, I just thought it was a great movie. I've always loved James Gunn as a comic book movie director. I don't think he's made a single bad one of the ones that I've seen. All the Guardians movies, and then the Suicide Squad and the Peacemaker show. I think they're in the upper echelon of comic book adaptations. And so him being chosen to be like the leader of this like new DC universe, I was like, that's perfect. Like you can't get any better than that. And him in this Superman, for the Superman movie, he does what he's great at doing, which is adapting the crazy parts of comic books and like the goofy parts, and he just doing that like unashamed of it. And making you care about it, like, because that was like the big thing with the first Guardians movie, where it's like it's a talking raccoon and a talking tree, but you're at the end you're crying for them, and like that's the thing. Like you can make a movie about crazy things like that, that seem like kind of stupid at first glance, like as long as you introduce it and you like acknowledge like this is a little crazy, like then it circles back to being like cool. And you actually care about it, and this movie does that. He's doing like weird alien. He's like Superman's like dealing with like weird stuff, and not just like Earth based like robberies and like cats and trees. He's fighting a giant monster. He's going to pocket dimensions, and I think that's all really great and like an aspect of the comic books that hasn't been touched upon that much in the films. And also this characterization of Superman is just it's spot on. And despite it being like super fantastical, they're still doing like they're still dealing with like things that like the Zack Snyder movies also did, where it's like people on the news arguing about Superman, and like real world implications of Superman's. That's kind of like the driving, like the initial point of the movie, you know, or like the, I guess, inciting incident, but it happens before the movie even starts. It's implied to happen before the movie starts, where he involves himself in like a foreign conflict and has like all these like implications about like geopolitics, that Superman didn't intend to make. But since the world is like more complicated than he thinks, you know, it's about that. But and it's like, I think that the difference is what makes this one work so much more is that that Clark, Superman, his conflict is never about whether or not he should help people, because that was the big thing with Henry Cavill's one. He was never, but in this new one, Superman was never like, should I help people? What, maybe I should. I don't need to help them. You know, the conflict never came to because of that. The conflict came from how much he wants to help people, and how like the way that the world is structured, like how more complicated that might be than he thinks. I thought that was like, that's what made the biggest difference in the world. And you know, despite it being like super out there in terms of the comic bookiness and the superhero-ness, Lex Luthor's plan did involve like one of the most realistic things I've ever seen in a comic book movie, which is Lex Luthor framing Superman as a sex pest, as a way to turn the public against him. And I just thought that was, you know, super, you know, that I mean, that would work, honestly, if you were to do that. If I was a fan of Superman and he was real, and you were like, he has a harem of women that he has sex with, so I would be like, oh, fuck. Like, I mean, it's like, I separate art from the artist, I guess. You know, it's like, I mean, like, next time he saves someone, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, maybe he's saving them just to like charm them and get him to join his get into his dungeon, his weird sex dungeon with all of his. I don't even want to think about him. Like, what is that guy? They said he's the Man of Steel. I wonder what. Never mind, man. Sorry, just sorry. But yeah, that's how you do it. You accuse him of that, and obviously everybody's gonna be like, oh, that's kind of gross. But back to the point of like the fantastical elements. I wonder what a 70-year-old old person would think about this movie. You know how like old people, they go to the movies just to like you know, they're just waiting out their time until the inevitable, and they just go see any new movie that's playing at the theater. I would like to know what a 70-year-old person was thinking when they saw that Lex Luthor had 1 million chimps typing on social media and fake accounts and doing like hashtags. I feel like their brain would just implode seeing that. Because that was one of the coolest parts of the movie. You know, like I think it's a reference to like the infinite chimps typing Shakespeare theorem, which I really like. That's a really great thought experiment. I like thinking about that. I think about that all the time, honestly. It's one of my favorite thoughts. If I'm ever like waiting in line, yeah, it's nice. And you know, it's something that I wish that was like, I think they're monkeys in the movie. They're not chimps. Sorry, that's a big distinction, chimps and monkeys. But I think I would that's something that I wish was real. You know, I would love to, because I think about this a lot, like the dead internet theory, and how like so many of the accounts that you see in like comment sections and even that post are like just not real. They're all like engagement farms. They just say like ridiculous stuff to make you mad and respond to them just to to give the sites more engagement. But I wish that in the real world that it was chimps, monkeys. Sorry, they were monkeys. Oh God, I'm gonna PO the primate community off. But yeah, I feel like it would be so cool if I was like, if I knew that, I was arguing in the comments against a monkey. I'll be like, oh my God, I'm talking to a monkey right now. That's so cool. I would try to break through its shell. I'd be like, do you like bananas? And they'd be like, and in their minds, they're like, fuck, I do like bananas, but I have to pretend to be a real person. I'd be like, do you like swinging around on trees? And they're like, I do like swinging around on trees. Oh God, but Lex Luthor hired me for this job. I got to pretend to be saying something, I don't know, racist or something. I would do like the trend of where it's like saying my favorite things on the phone while my friend is listening. Be like, oh yeah, hey, completely unrelated to the original comment, like responding like, hey, me and my friends are gonna go eat some bananas and go to the jungle gym. See you later. And they're like, fuck, that sounds so fun. That sounds so fucking fun, but I have to keep typing. Oh, God, my life is so hard. I just want to go. I just want to be a monkey. I just want to be a real monkey, man. I just want to be a real monkey. Fuck. I just want to be a real monkey. Yeah, I like that. I like that part of the movie. And I think that's all I have to say. I do like I wanted to talk about that the Superman actor, David Cornsweet. Fuck it. I thought he was great. I was watching a lot of interviews with him. And the cool thing about him is like he's kind of like a nerd. He likes Star Wars a lot, and he's very passionate about the characters. There's like many interview clips of him like explaining exactly why Superman is so great. But he's also like big and buff like me, and he has a deep voice like me, and he's like 6'7" like me also. So it's like doubly cool. Me and David, we go out sometimes, and people mistake us on the street. They're like, "Are you David Cornsweet?" I'm like, "No, I'm actually the podcast host." I'm his podcast host friend that everybody knows. And they're like, "Good, because can I get a picture with you?" I did not want a picture with David. I can't stand that guy. Did you see what he said about fucking Yoda? I can't stand that guy. So yeah, that's just a little bit. That's what me and David do every now and then, But yeah, he's cool. I wish he was like, I don't know. I wish he was like my dad or like my big brother or something. And maybe that's a little weird. It's just something to think about. Anyways, moving on from that, there's a even newer movie that just came out about another super famous comic book franchise, right? And that is the Fantastic Four First Steps. And I just gotta say, man, I'm just the biggest fan of Marvel. Like I love Marvel, like they've just been making good movies all consistently all the time. It's just they got great characters, the Avengers. Let's give it up for the Avengers and the Spider-Mans out there. It's just so amazing. And like DC, they think that they can step up to Marvel. But they know what's up. They got the formula down. They know what they're doing, man. So DC, I know you're trying, but you're gonna have to try a little harder. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to try a little harder to beat Marvel. That's my rhyme. That's my new rhyme. Try a little harder to beat Marvel. DC. Sorry DC. Don't care. That's what DC stands for. Didn't create enough good movies before the year 2025. Sorry DC. That's I'm joking obviously, but I just gotta say I was so excited. I was excited for both of these movies, and it was honestly like surreal seeing them after because it's like crazy though. They're like two of the the most iconic characters of these two respective franchises, releasing in the same month is crazy. I feel like the only way it would get crazier if it was like a Batman and a Spider-Man movie releasing in the same month. But like Superman and Fantastic Four, that's like the immediate spot below the two of them in terms of like popularity. And so it was surreal seeing both of these movies, and I love the Fantastic Four. I was so excited for this movie. I loved all the cast. And I mean, I bought their Lego set. I bought their Fortnite skins. I have them tattooed on my chest. Look, I'm gonna show you. I got their fucking novelty popcorn bucket and cup in the theater. Because I went to a different, for this one, I went to a different theater than I usually go to, and a different one that I went to Superman. 'Cause that one didn't have any of like the novelty souvenir stuff. Look at this. This was the cheapest souvenir bucket, by the way. I would have gotten the Galactus one or like the Fantastic car. Like I got this. I got this cup. The cup's alright, but this little topper with Johnny Storm, I was like, fuck yeah, dude. I fucking love Johnny Storm. And it's like I chose Johnny Storm because he's my favorite. He's always been my favorite since I was a little kid. But yeah, I've loved the Fantastic Four since I was a little boy. The one with Chris Evans I watched all the time. I had a toy of him. I still have it. It's right, literally right there. It's standing right there on like a stand. I dressed up as him for Halloween because I was like, his name is Johnny, like me. He's just like me. And in the movies, in this new movie, all the girls are like, "We love you, Johnny." I was like, they're talking to me. That's usually what happens when I go out in public. Yeah, I love the Fantastic Four so much, and then I love the MCU so much. That's kind of been my thing for the past like decade, and to see both of those combine into this, it's amazing. It's incredible. And similar to Superman, the thing about the Fantastic Four is like they're explorers, right? They're doing like space stuff. They're like visiting different planets and universes. And this one has a lot of that. But mainly what I've seen a lot of people cite is like the best 10 minutes in comic book movie history, or one of the best, is spoilers, by the way. I think I didn't really spoil much about Superman, but I will still put a spoiler warning on the screen. But I'm going to talk about more specific plot details for this one, as I was about to say right there before I stop myself. But spoilers for this, if you haven't seen it, this one's more recent, so I feel better. I feel safer saying this one out loud. And if you haven't seen it, here's footage that I recorded in the theater of the whole movie. Let's just play that there. I know it's technically illegal, but it's who's gonna stop me? It's sort of the damage has already been done. Here's the movie, the full movie. I'm just gonna wait for you guys to finish that so I can talk about what I am going to say. Yeah. So, oh yeah, that part's pretty cool. Anyways, the scene where they go, or the sequence where they go out to find Galactus or the Silver Surfer. They're trying to find where the Silver Surfer is, to find Galactus and kind of like bargain with him and make a deal with him. And just that whole stretch of seeing the planet get destroyed by the giant ship that Galactus is on, to meeting Galactus, and he has like the coolest, one of the coolest things I've ever seen. And then the whole chase sequence that ensues afterwards, and then when the baby in Sue gets out of Sue, that whole sequence is just it's music to my ears, but it's like the eyes version of that. It's music. It's music to my eye. What's the equivalent to music to your ears, but with your eyes? It's art to my eyes. It's the Mona Lisa to my eyes, honestly. Yeah. And yeah, it's just all around great movie. The cast was another thing that I wanted to mention, because to all the people who were like, I don't think Pedro Pascal is going to be a good Reed Richards. I don't think he doesn't seem like a good Reed Richards to me. After seeing this movie, I just got to say, fuck you guys. I knew from the beginning that he was going to be amazing. I was a Pedro Pascal truther from the very get-go, and I'm glad to say that I was correct. As usual, I was correct in my assessment of him. The characterization of Reed was, like, I would like to say flawless in this. There were so many, like, there were a lot of, like, I want to say, like, little moments. I guess they're kind of big moments because, but they're I guess tasteful, like a lot of tastefully done moments that like perfectly show like what Reed is about. There's one of my favorite scenes where he's like, he's holding Franklin, his son, and he's like, after hearing that like Galactus is like, he's the most powerful person, that baby is the most powerful thing in the universe. And Reed is like, well, none of my sensors say anything. So he's like, instead of like scanning you to see like what mutation you have, he's gonna wait, and he's gonna let him tell me what, he's gonna let Franklin tell him what he is, and he says like, I really like the part where he's like, there's something wrong with me. There always has been. That part was so great, and it's just perfect. And then the other part when, I think it's after, it's like, it's a very dire moment when they're like, what the fuck do we do about Galactus? Which I guess is most of the movie. But there's a part when like Reed, he instinctively goes to write an equation on his chalkboard to try and figure out the solution. But like his chalkboard just taps on the chalk a little bit as he wants to write something, but he doesn't know. And he's just at a loss. And yeah, I thought it was all really great. And then what else should we talk about? I don't think I've ever been happier watching a movie than like the beginning of this, the opening sequence of this one, where they're showing the Fantastic Four like doing, just like in their prime, just fighting bad guys, Reed kicks like an orangutan at one point, an evil orangutan. And then there's a part when like Sue and Johnny like repair like a subway train or like rails or something. Like just seeing them like do their thing in this like fun like 60s like this kind of snazzy intro. It's so great. It was so great. I was cheesing the whole time. So yeah, which one do I think is better, guys? That's the real Marvel vs. DC. What was the best movie that's in the theater right now that you should see? Obviously, it's the Smurfs. Go see the Smurfs. Everyone, go see. You need to see the Smurfs, guys. You need to see the Smurfs. Please. Smurfs it's gonna go places. It's gonna go to like 100. I know that the Rotten Tomatoes score is not that good, but just don't trust the critics, guys. Anyways, yeah, I'm not here to pick a side, guys. I love movies, and I love superheroes, and I love spending ungodly amounts of money on popcorn buckets. It's just my favorite thing in the world. See, the top layer is translucent because it's Invisible Woman. That's something that only I ever noticed and nobody else knew. Every time I go to the theater, I'm always reminded of how many annoying people there are in the world. Just people that might be my biggest pet peeve. People with bad theater etiquette. When I was at Superman, there was one person who just kept shaking their cup with ice. They had already drank all the liquid, and they're just shaking their cup with the ice in it, just over and over and over again. That's nice. I really like that. I didn't want to because my thing with, I like getting super invested into movies, so I like full sensory deprivation is what I like to do. Even if I'm watching stuff at home, it's lights out. That's why I usually wait till night to watch things. I can't watch things during the day because the light will make my face reflect on the screen, and that'll just ruin my mood if I see that. Aww. So, and then, yeah, the volume all the way up, damage my hearing. I don't care. I don't care. And then, yeah, so I just like that. I don't like any distractions or like anything to take me out of the world of the movie. I guess it's like an escapism thing. And then also at Superman, someone just walked in, just like on a phone call actively, and they walked in and they were on the phone. I think they asked someone a question. I think someone that they knew. Um, I guess, I mean, I was gonna say you could have sent a text, but then they would have to text. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how important that phone call was. Definitely not more important than my Superman movie. Maybe that it was probably like their son was like dying or something, and now I sound like an asshole. Well, sorry, you should have canceled your reservation. Uh, no. Then I mean, Fantastic Four. I didn't see it. I usually see the movies on Thursdays because that's what theaters do now. They let you see it on Thursday, the Thursday before the day before the movie comes out. Fantastic Four. I had shit to do. Okay, so I couldn't see until Saturday. I don't know if it's because of that or because of the theater that I went to, because I went to a different one for each. But I had my crowd was more of like the layman crowd, like the more like casual fans. Because like after those credits, like everyone emptied out of the theater. Like they were not fucking waiting for those post credit scenes. Like either they were noobs or they were like, they were laymen's. There were two babies actually in the theater. Two baby Franklins in my movie theater. But they actually weren't annoying. After I don't think I heard them. No, I don't think I heard them very many times during the movie. And if I did, I think there was once during the movie, but the mother quickly just went shh, and the baby was like, I understand. It was a very smart baby. Very smart baby. Then the second time I think was right the post credits scene, like right at the beginning. But the baby's like, oh, the movie's done. The credits are showing. They don't understand the concept of post credit scenes. They got things. There are things after the movie. What the hell? Imagine explaining that to a baby. Yeah, there's actually more scenes at the end of the movie. And then I've been noticing more and more like the generic like movie trailer format. With some of the previews before the movies that I saw. Some of them look pretty good. Like before Superman, I saw the Oppenheimer teaser. That one was really cool. It was very like tasteful and like a little intriguing, But some of them they really hit you with that sound. They're like, this summer things get a little bit crazy. It always starts with like, dun, like kind of like a whimsical like. Dun. Then it's like things get a little bit out of hand. And then it plays like it gives you like a, I don't know, some like old pop song that they turn into like a super epic orchestral version. Like, what is love? Baby, don't hurt, don't hurt me no more. What is love? Imagine a world where there's no oxygen and everybody dies. Oh no, there's no oxygen. I'm gonna die. I'm a human and I need oxygen to breathe. This summer. Sorry, that's my little DJ set for the movie coming this summer. Then always at the ending I have a little joke, a little funny joke. Oh, did you say that the oxygen's all gone? Yes, I did say that. Does that what's an oxygen related joke? Too late for me. I'm gonna die. Like O2, like oxygen, like. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking on the spot. I'm not very good. I was more focused on my DJ skills. I'm not like a professional at this. I'm not a trained comedian. I didn't go to fucking Juilliard. I didn't go to Juilliard. Is it Juilliard? No, it's Juilliard. I went to Juilliard. That's what I went to. I misheard I thought it was called Juilliard, not Juilliard. So that's why I'm so bad at improv, you know. Anyways, that was my movie going experience. Let me know what you guys thought of the movies if you saw them. I hope you saw them. It's fucking you not seeing the movies of the years of the summer, the movies of the summer. What the hell's wrong with you? What the hell's wrong with you? Wait. Huh? What? Where's the fucking? There it is. There is a weird effect on my soundboard that's giving it like a wah sound. I'm gonna have to fix that in post, or maybe that's just when I'm recording it. Anyways, I think it's time for us to doom scroll, everybody. It's time for us to Dr. Doom scroll. I just wanted to show you guys this video that I saw. There's going to be a little bit of an Inception scenario going here. Because this video is a reaction, okay? And now it's going to be me reacting to a guy reacting to another video. So it's a little silly. We got this guy, there's text on the screen saying, lady evicted after months without paying rent. Part 1. This is part 1. I'm only going to show you part 1. But yeah, I thought, you know, reactors, you know, they're there to, you know, give their commentary like I've been doing. I've been, you know, talking about these videos, giving my thoughts on them. And you know, this is a fellow reactor giving his thoughts on this video, and I just thought he had some very great insights that I wanted to show you guys.
Dude, get out! Come on, man.
Shirley, what are you doing in here?
Get out, dude! Get out!
Oh yeah.
Get out! Get out!
Not the cleanest apartment, but you know.
No, the bailiff's got to talk to you.
No, get out!
Nope.
Please get the out.
Nope. Sorry, Shirley.
You know what? There's nothing I can do. What do you want?
Okay, so it's been 30 seconds. Doesn't look like he's had much to say, which I guess, I mean, the video is just starting, right? And it's kind of just a back and forth of, what do you want? You got to get out. Yeah, it looks like she's failed to pay rent, you know, and it's like, obviously, lady, you're not going to get out of it by just saying, you know, get out, go away. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Maybe there's some context missing of how long it's been. Maybe, you know, maybe her landlord's like very stingy or something. I will say, maybe if you clean up your apartment a little bit, maybe you could, maybe you would have better chances. But let's just keep going.
What do you want?
Shirley, today is eviction day.
Oh, it's
No,
eviction
it's
day.
not.
Okay,
You know what?
they've warned her.
I want y'all to leave me the
That's
f***
not gonna
alone.
work, lady.
Okay? I'm not gonna tell you again. I want you to leave me the f*** alone. Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you guys get it?
I do think a lot of times it is humorous when people think that they can talk their way out of I guess, I mean, maybe some people can talk their way out of an arrest. Maybe like a silver-tongued businessman in a big suit. But just going like, you know, I want you. You know what? Leave me alone. The cop is just gonna be like, oh damn, okay, sorry, I didn't know. I didn't know you got it like that. I'll back away. I see that happening a lot when people are like, because I do watch a lot of body cam videos, unfortunately, of like people like turning like traffic stops into like multiple felonies and misdemeanors and whatever. Because I don't know, people like escalating it, where they're like get out of the car, and they're like no, I'm not getting out of the car. They'll always be like, I'm not doing this thing. And then they escalate it to where they're getting arrested. And they're like, okay, I'll do the thing that you initially asked me. Just don't arrest me. I always find that very, you know, it's kind of, I was gonna say humorous, but that feels insensitive. Maybe it's a little, I don't know. It's interesting. But anyways, back to this video.
You know what? I want y'all to leave me the f*** alone.
That's not gonna
Shirley,
work,
what's
lady.
wrong?
I'm sorry.
I want you to leave me the f*** alone.
Okay.
Maybe you could
Don't
plead your
worry about
case
what
to the
I'm doing, what
landlord.
the f*** going on with me. Worry about your motherfucking self. Do you get it?
That, I mean, that's a good point. They could maybe. worry about themselves.
Well, I get paid to worry about other people.
Look, buddy. Well, you know what? I don't get paid.
Oh, she doesn't get paid.
You're not trying to give me no motherfucking money. And you're not going to kick me out.
Oh, shit. Wait, I totally forgot there's a guy up there. Sorry, there's a guy at the top of the screen. I forgot we're watching his reaction video. I've just been so invested in the bottom one. I was hoping that this guy was going to say something. I really would like to see his input. I want to know what he's thinking about this. I saw at one point he checked himself in like the preview, and he was like, he fiddled with his necklace, and he's like, oh, I look good. All right. He has yet to say anything. This has mostly just been an unedited, basically reposting of this original video. And just a little spoiler alert, he does not say anything this entire video. All of part 1, he does not dare to say a word. He's fucking he's so invested in this video. He dare not to pause it once. He dare not to ruin his viewing experience. This is like if you just recorded yourself just by like, this is like if it was security footage of you watching something by yourself alone, not making a video for an audience to watch. It's like he uploaded that. I think it's revolutionary. And obviously he has to take up half the video of the screen, and his big watermarks are at the bottom. I think it's just it's a type. It is a genre of content. I'll say that much. But I just wanted to show you guys that, and I thought it was very nice, and he seems to be doing well for himself. He's got a lot of engagement on his posts. And yeah, but that's all I had to talk about for this episode. Those are all the videos I wanted to show you. I just wanted to end this one. Actually, I do have one more video to show you. I'm going to show you this one last video to end this one out. Other than that, I'll talk to you guys next week. Here is this video. This is a cool one I wanted to show you guys.
Down to the river.
Ma'am.
I am telling
You're gonna get your
dead in the river right now. You're gonna all be dead. My husband's dead. I don't
Stop yelling. Where was he supposed to
up, you motherfuckers. Prick.
Cops in Ohio received a panicked call from a woman whose husband, after losing his job, had left the house, and his GPS location was now appearing in the middle of the river. Fearing the worst, the woman urged cops to come and help her find him.
Hi.
Down to the river.
Ma'am. Ma'am, stop. Ma'am, I can't help you if I don't get information. Okay, calm down, cooler heads. 61. The female's now driving off. Wants me to meet her wherever she's going. If you can try to call her back and tell her to stop so we can get more info.